Okay, hello everybody, welcome to TìandTarot, or welcome back to TìandTarot if you've been here before. So today's reading is all about what your fortune is. That can be the thing in life that's going to bring you fortune. That can be the thing in life that you value, or that you should cherish, or that you have gratitude for. Or it's the kind of thing that kind of just aligns with you and with your soul's purpose. So we're going to be looking into that today in this reading, and today's reading is a pick-a-pile reading. If you don't know how pick-a-pile readings work, I'll explain that to you now. So you just want to pick the pile that you feel most intuitively drawn to based on the energy of the pile, the crystal or object on top, or based on the number of the pile or the numbers in the timestamps below, or the zodiacs in the timestamps below if that's also how you like to choose. So for pile 1, 2 and 3 we have a different miscellaneous object. So for pile 1 we have a white candle. For pile 2 we have like a Roman coin replica. And for pile 3 we have 2 shells. Once you have picked your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Bye. Okay, hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose the white candle, which I'm going to place here, and these are your cards. So you have the wise one, tradition and order. You have, the high priestess in reverse. The 2 of sticks, which is the 2 of wands in reverse. The 7 of coins. And you have change course. A closed door is an invitation from life to move in an even better direction. It is time to change course. Ooh, okay. It's interesting that you got the wise one along with the high priestess, because I suppose the high priestess can tie in with tradition and order a little bit, but it's also very much about wisdom, which I find really interesting. There's an intense energy of intelligence from this pile. And interestingly, the high priestess originally in tarot, way back when, used to kind of be represented by like cemetery gates, or just gates in general, like the high gates, the heavenly gates, any kind of gate where it's like some sort of transition into like a new world, or something most people don't get access to. And then you've got this change course here with the keys and the door, almost implying you'll get access to something most people don't have. So clearly your insight and your ability to see things for what they are, especially with this like all-seeing eye here, clearly plays a very big role in your fortune. You being able to see things from almost like an outside perspective. And I think that level of intelligence helps you a lot in terms of challenging the status quo, challenging tradition, and making impactful change in the world as well. So potentially your fortune lies in your activism, in the impactfulness you have on society around you, how you can kind of help people, because the Hierophant is the sort of paired card with the High Priestess, and the Hierophant can be about being like a figurehead and, to a community. And so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of you impacting change within a community, and that being your fortune. Also, traditionally with the 2 of sticks, in like traditional depictions of this card, there's usually a rose, a cross and a lily. And I find lilies quite interesting because I just filmed a tarot reading talking about how lily can represent Lilith, which can be like opposition to tradition, being like a feminist or an intersectional feminist or an intersectional ecologist. Essentially just standing up for oppressed groups, particularly women. So I think a part of the thing that gives you purpose and meaning in life, the thing that fulfills your soul and the thing that you should value and focus on that will actually uplift you, is helping to stand up for other oppressed groups, minority groups, standing up for women, being an activist, being an ally, especially because you're getting a lot of like wisdom cards. and changing the course of things, and then you've got that alongside the tradition elements. But with the Two of Sticks in reverse like that, it is kind of implying that even though this might be your fortune, it could also be something, while very fulfilling and, you know, satisfying to use, appeasing to your soul, it can also be really like emotional and sometimes scary and sometimes difficult, because when the Two of Sticks or Wands is in reverse like that, it can represent those things. So I think you might be having a hard time accepting that this is your fortune, or that this is the road that you're kind of intended to go down, but you've got all the capabilities and the power and the intelligence to do it really well and make a big impactful change, but you might doubt that you're able to do that. But you've got wisdom, power and perspective. Those are your three sort of things that are your fortune that will actually help you on this journey as well. But with the Seven of Coins, we're strongly getting the message that this is your treasure and your heart lies with this. So it's something that you value very much. It's something that matters to you. It is your fortune. Like, that is what it is being this kind of activist standing up for people. Not only is it your fortune in terms of like what you value and what matters to you and what gives your life like purpose, but it can also be something where you're able to make an income from this in terms of like, you could, for example, write a book about your experiences, and then in that book sort of explain how to tackle the sort of social constructs that help to keep people oppressed, and you might, you know, publish that and then make money from that. Meanwhile, you're doing a really good thing, helping the world and spreading this message. So it's like, it's also something that could actually physically also give you fortune as well, just because of the Seven of Coins here. And when I was looking at the 7, for some reason the 9 kept popping into my head as well, which can be about safety and success. So you're definitely protected in this. If you wanted to be this type of person, you're protected on that journey for sure. And it will definitely be a successful one for you, because that's the one that kept popping into my head. And I kept thinking of like, I know you don't have the 9 of Coins, but I kept thinking that when I looked at this one for some reason, I kept thinking of the 9 of Coins, which has like a woman usually with like an animal on her arm or wrist, like a bird or, you know, any type of animal, usually a bird. And that can be about, you know, making friends with something. So it's like your empathy for others, no matter how different you are to them, your empathy for other species like animals and things is one of your fortunes, because it allows you to have great empathy for them and feel their pain so greatly that you end up wanting to make really important, impactful change as well to your world, which is genuinely such a soul-fulfilling thing for you. That is for sure your fortune. I feel like the night is relevant as well, like the nighttime versus the day, in terms of you getting work done in this area, in terms of you progressing. So it could be like when you're writing that book, doing it at night could help you. It could be that meeting, the night that's popping into my head, it could mean like meeting in secret with like a little secret society to talk about how you're gonna like take down and tackle like social structures that keep people oppressed, take down capitalism. It could be that you're doing something in secret, especially with the High Priestess, in order to make this change happen. It could be that you're pulling yourself away from how things are and creating a completely different environment for yourself and your community by, like, for example, if like your community is like, I don't know, let's just say 10 people in like a town, and one of you cooks for everybody for free, the other one cleans for everybody for free, the other one makes everyone's clothes for free, the other one babysits for free, all of a sudden you've got this system where everyone's helping each other out, and you're not really dependent on as much on the way that the world is currently built, where you would have to struggle and pay for these services and miss out on that community. And maybe you start like a book club or like, you know, things like that, or maybe like a running group. Like, I can see you doing something in secret or in the shadows, or something that is just for you and like a small group of people potentially, in order to help make this change and discuss these issues as well. But yeah, that was your reading part 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Okay, hello my pile 2s. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Roman coin. So let's get into your cards. So you have Oh, you have the Devil. You have the Nine of Blades, which is the Nine of Swords. And the Eight of Coins in reverse. You also have the Smith, overthinking, taking action. Wow, that really ties in with the Nine of Blades. And then you also have Space. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. You're definitely a creator of things. That's what I'm getting quite clearly. Because when you think about space, obviously it was talking about making sure you don't add too much to it and it becomes overwhelming. Make sure you declutter and, you know, kind of have that minimalist space. But the way that I was seeing that is that when people do put a space together, it's like they're creating that space. They're putting little touches like, you know, an ornament in there, or maybe a specific type of curtain rail that they like. You know, you're creating something. And then you've got that with the Eight of Coins as well, creating something to make your money. And then you've got the Smith, so again, creating something, taking action. So I'm definitely getting like a big creative energy, but it might not always feel like your creativity is a good thing. For you, it might feel overwhelming, because when you have a lot of creativity, you have a lot of thoughts, conflicting desires to do different things at the same time, and then you feel overwhelmed and end up doing nothing. So potentially you are like a little bit overwhelmed with your own creativity. And with the Devil card here, it can also imply that everything needs to be in moderation. So you can definitely do too much of something to the point where it no longer even feels like a fortunate thing. But if you learn how to manage it and do it in a balanced, harmonious way, it can be your fortune, instead of overwhelming yourself with so much. So for example, let's say you want to you've seen some TikToks, you want to do pottery painting, you also want to do stained glass, you know, ornament making, you also want to do painting or drawing classes or something. And so you go out, you buy all those things and you're trying to work on them all at once. But it's actually really overwhelming, because by working on them all at once, you're not really learning anything. You're not developing a skill, because you're not dedicating enough time to just that one sort of endeavour at a time. So this is kind of saying take everything slowly in moderation, because your creativity is an amazing, powerful thing, and it can really take you places, and it can give you so much fulfillment and joy if you spend a reasonable amount of time dedicated to sort of one endeavour at a time, not letting other things in your life fall to the wayside because you're so focused on these things. If you're trying to rush through everything and just learn everything all at once, then you're not going to enjoy that. And so you're losing out on the fortune. You know, you're losing out on the thing that gives your soul purpose, that makes you feel happy, makes you feel good, things that you feel grateful for. So definitely your creativity is one of those things. And I think if you find a way to not get overwhelmed by your creativity, or to harness it for good and use it in a way that doesn't stress you out, it will eventually also reap in benefits for you, because this is in reverse, like physical, financial benefits. But because this is in reverse, it's giving that at the moment, based on the way you use your creativity and what you're putting it into, you're losing out on that opportunity. And it could be that decluttering your space could actually help free up some of that stress and make you feel a little bit lighter as well. And interestingly as well, I think with the Devil and the Nine of Blades, there's you know, every card can have so many different meanings, but sometimes it has like sub-meanings. And both of these have like a sub-meaning of death, of like transformation, of letting something go in order to move on to the next phase. So it could also be that your creativity in that death, when there's time for you to change or transform in some sort of way, or when your life is sort of had like an upheaval, especially when we're seeing space and like getting rid of things and bringing things back in to create a home and whatnot. Potentially there's been a lot of movement in your life, a lot of upheaval, a lot of change. Potentially that creativity helps you to rebuild yourself into a version that better suits your new environment, or better suits your new life with your new life experiences. So something that is your fortune is your ability to use your creativity for good and change for the better, especially in terms of self-development. And especially with that Eight of Coins in reverse as well, I definitely see that you are aware that your creativity could take you places. You're aware your creativity is a gift. And I love that for you. Be egotistical, you know, be big yourself up for sure. But you're aware that you've got something really amazing and special, and that could be, you could be trying to like self-sabotage in a way by trying to avoid the creative projects you have in your mind because you're afraid of how that success will change you or transform you, even though because of that creativity, every transformation and change in your life will work out in your favor. So it's interesting. You have like a fear of your fortune, that your fortune, if you didn't fear it, could bring so much value and happiness to your life. And your fortune is your creativity and your ability to transform. So that was your reading pile 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Okay, hello pile 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose these 3 shells. 3? 2. 2 shells. So let's get into your cards. So you have the Hound, Loyalty, Chains, Promises. You have the Three of Blades. Wow. Those tie in so well. Okay. You have the Hermit in reverse. You have the King of Coins in reverse. And you have Patience. It is safe to wait. Okay. This is very layered, this fortune of yours, because I'm sort of seeing with the Hound and with the Hermit that you're very methodical. You think before you act, especially with the Patience card. And so that is a really good fortune of yours because it helps you figure out the best situations for you to be in and the ones to avoid, what opportunities are good for you, what people are good for you. It really helps you figure that out, and it also really helps you in terms of standing up for yourself but making sure you're also not like jumping to conclusions about people and getting like the wrong end of the stick, because you're someone who's very patient, who thinks about things, who does a lot of introspection, and that helps you handle difficulties in life really well so that you come out on top here with the King of Coins. Because with the Hound, there's an element that so if this sword is trying to, attack this Hound, it doesn't work. The sword is like disintegrating, falling apart because the Hound has roared so loudly at the sword that it shattered into a million pieces. So that's you being able to stand up for yourself against injustices and stand up for others as well. But you have like a great inner strength and inner wisdom that helps you suss out situations so that you can stand up for yourself. Say no to the things that aren't for you, say yes to the things that are for you. And that way as well, when hardship befalls you, you handle it really well. You're able to be really patient with yourself, take your time, go inward, learn everything you wanted to learn from it, figure out, right, you know what, here's where they went wrong, here's where I went wrong. Either way, the situation's not for me. It helps you to really figure out what you want in life and what works for you and what doesn't. Which leaves you in this really lovely place with the King of Coins. Because with the King of Coins upright, it can mean there can be a lot of meanings to it, but one of the things can be valor, which I think is interesting because that's kind of the energy I'm getting from this, like loyalties, chains, promises. You have a really big, lovely heart, and you're very brave, and that is your fortune. Even though it might feel like a downfall at times, because with the King of Coins in reverse, it can also be about perceived weaknesses or corruption and things like that. And I think with perceived weakness, you could see your loyalty, your bravery, your sort of open heart as a weakness. But actually it's your gift, it's your fortune. So it's something you don't see as valuable because you seem to always be getting hurt. But that doesn't mean that your openness, your love, your loyalty, your bravery, your open heart is valueless. It means that the people who hurt it are. So I think not only is your fortune, your open heart, and your ability to continue to love and accept people despite difficulties you might have been through, but it's also your ability to be patient and kind with yourself long enough to have introspection, to learn from these situations and learn how to defeat them. Because here the swords are sharp and they broke this ghost's heart here, but here the sword has disintegrated because the ghost has turned into this hound who's able to protect themselves from danger, which puts them in this king space, in this space of valor, in this space of integrity and bravery. So you might see your fortune as a weakness or something that you seem to not be able to escape from with chains here, something that holds you back, but actually it's your gift, because it means you will continue to be open to new opportunities and people, but also with the ability to protect yourself from those that you immediately perceive not to be right. And it gives you a great eye for that as well, for figuring out who's right for you and who's not, because with the Hermit it's like taking that time to look at someone and evaluate, especially with patience. And I love that she's with a cat here, because it's giving the imagery of like, I feel like you're just like, you know what, it's just me and my cats, or me and my dog, or whatnot. Like, you're like, that's where I feel safe and comfortable, that's who I'm gonna stick around with. And you have this ability to still be kind and open to others with the Hermit in reverse, without letting that fear of hurt or rejection, you know, hold you back or make you unnecessarily cautious of new connections or new opportunities or new changes in your life. You're very open to change, you go with the flow. That's what I think about with shells as well, because a lot of like, I don't know what animals it is, I actually can't remember, it might be crabs or something like that, but they all like go around and just change shells with each other all the time until they find the one that fits them, because some have grown and some haven't, and some have shells that are too big and too small. So it's almost like you're going through life trying to fit in and find the right fit for you, but you're not deterred when you don't find the right fit. You just wait for the next person to swap a shell with until it is the right fit. And when those changes happen, instead of letting your fear rule you, you respond accordingly to how you need to be in that situation, either really patient, kind and accepting, or really brave and courageous and standing up for yourself and others as well. And I think the more you stand up for yourself and put yourself first, and the more patient you are with yourself on the inside, it's like that strength card, that balance of that kindness, that gentleness, and then that bravery and courage. The more you find that balance there, the more fulfilled you're going to feel, the more fortunate you're going to feel, and the happier you're going to feel, because it speaks to your soul's purpose. So, that was your reading pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye!